Bctv local and African news summary for Wednesday, October 1. The just released U.S. State Department 2025 Trafficking in Persons report says Liberia does not fully meet the minimum international standards to eliminate trafficking. The House of Representatives Claims and Petitions Committee has directed the Chief Clerk to notify the Finance Minister to ensure compensation is included in the upcoming 2026 budget for victims of the NV Nico Ivanka boat disaster. Former Malian Prime Minister Moussa Mara is going to trial, accused of inciting public disorder. Liberia has once again been placed on Tier 2 in the Global Report on Human Trafficking, signaling that while the government is making efforts, it does not fully meet the minimum international standards to eliminate trafficking. The U.S. State Department 2025 Trafficking in Persons report released Monday notes slight progress. The government investigated more cases, including those involving officials accused of complicity, and prosecuted some suspects. However, for the second year in a row, Liberia failed to convict a single trafficker. Courts even acquitted a defendant in one case, while many officials still confuse trafficking with other crimes, such as fraud or migrant smuggling. Observers say police, prosecutors, and judges lack both resources and training to properly handle trafficking cases. In some instances, prosecutors pursue charges like rape or child endangerment instead of trafficking. The report also cited corruption, with some court clerks allegedly demanding bribes to schedule cases. On victim protection, the picture is equally troubling, the report said. Unlike the previous year, when over 150 victims were identified, the government reported none during the period of the report. Shelters were underfunded, with some largely inoperable, and services outside Monrovia remained scarce. Though the Ministry of Labor operates 3 shelters, only one was fully functional, the report said. Non-governmental organizations stepped in to provide legal aid and psychosocial support to at least 15 victims, often without government help. Prevention efforts also fell short during the period of reporting. For the second straight year, no budget allocation was made to anti-trafficking work, though the government reported limited awareness campaigns and a hotline that was often not operational. Labor inspections were carried out but did not uncover any trafficking cases. The report calls for urgent reforms, including securing convictions with strong prison sentences, improving training for police, prosecutors, and labor inspectors, identifying and supporting victims nationwide, and dedicating real resources to anti-trafficking strategies. Trafficking in Liberia remains widespread. Women, children, and impoverished communities are most at risk. Exploited in sex trafficking, forced labor in agriculture, mining, fishing, street vending, and even drug peddling. Some traffickers are trusted relatives of community leaders who lure victims with false promises. Liberia is also both a source and destination country, with victims trafficked across West Africa and even as far as the Middle East. The U.S. State Department report concludes that unless Liberia strengthens enforcement, invests in victim care, and tackles official corruption, the country will continue to fall short in protecting its most vulnerable citizens. The House of Representatives Committee on Claims and Petitions has met with families of victims of the tragic MV Nico Ivanka boat disaster. The families appeal for long delayed compensation, recalling a 2021 Senate report that recommended $20,000 for each victim. Nearly 4 years on, they say no payment has been made. In response, the committee directed the chief clerk to notify the finance minister to ensure compensation is included in the upcoming 2026 national budget. Committee Chairman Prince Stolz expressed condolences and reaffirmed that the House remains committed to ensuring relief for the affected families. In more news, the United States has hailed Liberia's new PhD program in biomedical and public health as a milestone for the country and a model of global collaboration. Speaking at the official orientation of the University of Liberia College of Health Sciences doctoral program, U.S. Embassy Chargé d'Affaires Joseph Zadrozny described the initiative as not just an academic achievement, but a public trust. He said the program marks a major investment in Liberia's ability to produce homegrown solutions to public health challenges and train future leaders. You're listening to the Bctv News Summary. In Mali, the trial of former Prime Minister Moussa Mara has begun at the cybercrime court in the capital, Bamako. Mara is accused of undermining state credibility, challenging legitimate authority, and inciting public disorder. The charges stem from comments he made on social media in July after visiting jailed opposition figures. He expressed solidarity with them, calling them prisoners of conscience, and vowing that as long as the night lasts, the sun will rise. Mara, who served as prime minister for 9 months a decade ago, has emerged as a strong critic of the military government. The military junta, led by General Assimi Goïta, took power in 2 coups between 2020 and 2021. Since then, General Goïta has dissolved political parties and in July, approved a controversial law granting himself a 5-year presidential mandate, renewable indefinitely and without elections. Observers say the highlights growing tensions between the junta and its political opponents. The weather forecast in Todi, Liberia for Wednesday, October 1st, 40% chance of rain during the day, increasing to 45% chance overnight. The high will be 81 degrees. The currency exchange rate is 181 Liberian dollars to $1 United States dollar. To summarize, the just released U.S. State Department 2025 Trafficking in Persons report says Liberia does not fully meet the minimum international standards to eliminate trafficking. The House of Representatives Claims and Petitions Committee has directed the chief clerk to notify the finance minister to ensure compensation is included in the upcoming 2026 national budget for victims of the MV Nico Ivanka boat disaster. And former Malian Prime Minister Moussa Mara is going to trial accused of inciting public disorder. That's the news up to the minute.